Practice number 3, saying, I deserve. A lot of us, as we go through life, deny ourselves many things because we put other relationships, other people, other responsibilities above our own happiness. For example, you need to finish a set of documents to present tomorrow for a meeting, but your friends are going out and they're saying goodbye to somebody who potentially is leaving the city and you may not be able to see them again. And now you're torn between going to that goodbye party or finishing the set of documents. And let's just say that you do decide to go to the party, and then as you sit there, you, instead of enjoying your relationship with your friends, you sit there worried, I should have stayed, I should have worked on those documents. So in that particular case, Conde would say to yourself, I am allowed, I deserve personal happiness and great relationships and wonderful time in my evenings with my friends. And that's it. Just say, I deserve it. I deserve it, and I'm allowed to do that. Nobody can stop me. And I do not feel guilty about it. Another example, let's just say that your family is living from paycheck to paycheck. And you really, really, really would love to afford yourself a new set of shoes that do not look as worn out, or a new laptop that is not crashing every 5 minutes, or a new set of cooking implements that are not all scratched up. But because your kids need this, your kids need book, and your utility bills are higher than you expected, and your, let's just say you have an unexpected bill from a oil leak in your car or something like that. You keep saying to yourself, well, one day when all of these problems are solved, I'm going to buy myself the shoes, and I'm going to buy myself that cooking implements, and then I'm going to be happy. In that particular case, Conde would recommend, do not go overboard, of course, and drop all your responsibilities, but go and get yourself the shoes, the cooking implements, or the cooking, whatever you call it, the pan, or whatever you feel would make you happy, and say, I deserve it. I am allowed to bring things that make me happy into my life. And I do not feel guilty about it. Now you would ask, but what are you going to do? Not pay the water bill? Other practices will deal with that. I'm not going to kind of go through other practices right now because we're on practice number 3 called I deserve. But there are other practices that teach you how to bring into your life the amounts of money that you actually need to be happy. So that practice I will explain later, but for right now, just say, do not worry. Say, I deserve, and I'm allowed, and I do not feel guilty about getting things that make me happy. There are other things that may not cost money, but might still make you guilty. So for example, let's just say that your child really wants you to drive him or her to some kind of a practice, but you really have your heart set on setting time apart to study for a new hobby or to study for a new skill that might be able to get you a higher paying job. And you would feel guilty by telling your child, no, I cannot take you today. Somebody else will take you. In that case, decide what is more important to you. Because it depends, of course, on how important it is. Maybe it's a championship game, or maybe it's some kind of very deciding game where without your presence, he would feel, or she would feel, less motivated to win. But if it's just a routine practice that does not really mean that much in terms of the long-term consequences, say yourself, I'm allowed to set time for myself instead of playing a chauffeur to everybody else. I'm allowed to study for a new skill, and I deserve to have the time to do that and not to feel guilty about it. So there are many, many other things that are related to I deserve, I am allowed, and I do not feel guilty. This could relate to your feeling of money, about money. So, for example, many people feel that by acquiring a higher paying job or moving to a better position, they would lose friendships that they had currently at this current position, or they would lose relationship that they've built somewhere else. Or maybe they have to move to another state or city and be apart from their family and parents. In that case, you can always, again, implement I deserve to be able to advance my career and not feel guilty about it. I'm allowed to move where I believe is best for me and not feel guilty about it. Sometimes that could be said about sexuality, about relationships. So, for example, one person in a relationship could feel that the happiness of their spouse or the happiness of their children is more important, or the wishes of their children are more important, or their spouse or their sexual partner are more important than fulfilling their own wishes. In that case, again, practice saying, I deserve to have my wishes fulfilled, same way everybody else is getting their wishes fulfilled. I'm allowed to fulfill my wishes, and I do not need to feel guilty about it. I hope that helps. That's one of the practices that I myself don't practice very often, and I feel I could do better at that. But I'm allowed is a very powerful statement to make to yourself.